Good evening, all of you. I am Vikas, and today we are going to discuss about the input-output decorators in the Angular. Before that, we should know that what is meant by the Angular components. Uh, then the Angular components may communicate with other sections of the applications in a variety of ways. Creating a sophisticated Angular project will require a lot of data, and as a result, a lot of interaction between components. Input and output directives in Angular are also useful for component communication. Then the what are the scope of the components? Then now we will discuss the through the directive we will discuss through the directives used for component communication, namely the input and output directives. How do they help in the communication, and how to construct them, and why they are useful in every Angular application. Introduction to input and output in the Angular. uh, then the input and output properties of a component can be specified in the component decorator or through property decorators. Then the Angular uses input and output decorators for transfer data between the context and child directives or the components. Then the input property is writable. The input directive is used to transfer the data from parent to child, parent component to the child components. Data enters a component via its input attributes. The terms output refer to how data flows out of a component via its input characteristics. As a result, the terms input and output were coined. Then the input and output decorators have some properties. The property is designated as the input property by the input decorator. In other words, it can accept data from the parent components. The parent components binds to a component property to via property binding. Then Angular updates the value in the child component whenever the value in the parent component changes. Then now we will discuss the how to use the input decorator. In a child component or a directive, use the input decorator to inform Angular that a property in that component can get its value from its parent component. Then now we will discuss it's important to remember that the data flow is from the viewpoint of the child component. As a result, input allows data from the parent component to be input into the child component. This is all about the input and output decorator in the Angular. Thank you.